Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Lazy Cat Reactions. This is episode 3 of season 3 of Nancy Drew, and it is titled The Testimony of the Executed Man. On the trail of the Frozen Hearts killer, Nancy and her friends follow a surprising lead from a podcaster at an annual convention for amateur sleuths, where they also find themselves unraveling ghostly clues about a homicide from the 1950s. As we know in the last episode, they kind of were closing in a bit on the Frozen Hearts killer. Nancy put herself in a compromising situation that resulted in the FBI agent coming to rescue her. And so, of course, now, because it is TV, there's maybe going to be a relationship between them, which will, of course, further fuel Nace to happen later. Speaking of Nace, Ace himself looks like might have been involved in something that he wasn't really aware of, and so now, of course, he is being threatened, and we will see how that plays out. Bess is going to become a witch, and George and Nick found her lost engagement ring, and Nick is making himself a part of the family. That's kind of hard to say. Try that 5 times fast. Family. Yeah. So I'm excited to get going with episode 3. I've said this pretty much since the last episode, not to trust Temperance. She's doing some shady shit. So let's get started.
Premeditated podcast listeners. Have you ever heard of Joe Kelsey? That was the name given to a European immigrant after World War II. Joe spoke no English, had no family, and no friends. But in 1950, he landed a job at a Poughkeepsie factory where a watchman was killed in robbery. Joe confessed to the murder. He was executed in the electric chair.
Oh. Like Ace.
Not too, endless. Last minute, you sent her opening to-do lists.
Woohoo, detective code!
It's only been like 1 day.
Okay, that is moderately cool. Can I still watch?
Let's go on.
The items in the box are haunted.
No shit.
Some cold-blooded work.
And look.
Relaxing.
Nace is in the house.
Are you kidding me?
Joe Kelsey's things went everywhere. We should put this stuff back in the box.
No shit! You probably shouldn't have even opened the box.
Oh, watch out!
He was not aiming at us.
No, it's not.
Where are we?
Spirits speak. And so that's what's going on. His spirit is speaking to Nancy and telling Nancy, hey, solve this crime. So, obviously that's going to happen. And so Bess then must have cleaned up and then gone over to the Historical Society. But like I was saying about the girl that she was trading barbs with, I'm like, okay, so the date didn't go well. Is that an excuse to be kind of shitty to each other? Just, be polite. Just be like, oh, hey, how's it going? It's like, you don't have to have that hostility just because it didn't go well on the date, which we saw because she was sitting there having coffee, and I think she and the girl were maybe arguing or whatnot. But again, at the same time, it's like, you could have, just been civil. Maybe manners is dead or something. Maybe having manners are dead. I don't know. But to me, that just seems like you could have been. And if she had actually been nice to the girl, it might have thrown the girl off, because if the girl was expecting hostility and prepared for it, and then all of a sudden she's like, oh, hey, how's it going? It throws them off. And so she'd be like, like the expression says, kill him with kindness. Come on, Ace, save your girlfriend. Baby. You wanna walk by?
Did I know you spoke Yiddish?
I don't.
My cats are fighting, I love it.
I only remember a couple of words here and there.
Something about that reenactment didn't make sense. Just one thing? I sure hope that's best for some things.
That's depressing.
Break it down.
Did he keep the watch? And she's getting ready to leave, and I'm like, why are you walking out the back door there at those cons? I mean, you know, going this back way. And I'm kind of like, wouldn't there be people, milling about, you know people in the back? That part just seemed a little odd, that there was like absolutely no one there. I like how Ace just randomly starts speaking in Yiddish. Like, what? Poor guy. And I'm perfect. All the cops. Nice job. It's recorded, y'all.
What happened?
Unleashed flaws in the Z-Sky?
Hasn't gotten rid of him yet.
Those are Joe's words. Do you know what they mean?
There he goes. He can move on now.
I'm a part of something much bigger. He'll never understand.
Do you ever feel like a mystery isn't quite solved?
I like we had a little Nace there at the end. Nancy and Ace together, as it should be. So it was nice to see that Kelsey could move on. The closure happened that he needed and that she needed. So they can both, of course, move on. She can know that he was innocent, and he can move on knowing that she was the one who tried to clear him. I like that it was George's sister, Ted, who had started the fans, and I like that George is like, yeah, let's keep it going and everything, but still, of course, laying down the law. It's gotta be hard for her having to basically raise 3 sisters because her mother is absent, And of course, it makes you wonder when she and Nick do get married if the girls are gonna live in the house with them or what. The one is a little older, so she probably wouldn't have very many years. She's 15, 16? So she wouldn't have very many years. And then, of course, you've got the other 2 who will be around a little longer. But I really don't have too much to say. I'm still just kind of getting used to everything. As I said earlier, we didn't see Ryan or Carson in this episode, nor did we see Temperance. So I know even though like Riley Smith and Scott Wolf are part of the cast, I have noticed with some of them, mainly those 2, like they are part of the cast, but sometimes I think they're only committed to a certain number of episodes. And I don't know if that's because they have other projects going on or what. I've noticed out like with Walker as well, that like Mitch Pileggi and Molly Hagan haven't been in all the episodes, nor Odette Annabelle, and I think Jeff Pierre too. So it's like they're part of the cast and everything, but I think they're only contracted for so many episodes, which, they're still part of the cast, they're still getting paid and everything, even if they, aren't required to be there all the time. I know on Supernatural, that was like that with Misha Collins when he appeared. Obviously, we saw his name. But with some of these shows, I've noticed, like with this one and with Walker, they still show the whole cast's listing, even if they're not in the episode. Like, again, Molly Hagan and Mitch Pileggi were still listed on Walker. even though there are a couple episodes that they're not in. The difference with Supernatural is when Misha Collins was in an episode, then we would see his name. If he wasn't in the episode, then his name was gone. But, you know, it does make you wonder. I mean, obviously with a show like Nancy Drew, they can't not have Candy McMahon. I mean, I'm sure they probably could, even if they referenced her, like if they wanted to have a episode that was solely devoted to George and to basically the rest of the Drew crew without Nancy. I'm sure that they could figure out a way to make it work. And that actually might be a cool idea, you know, if they did something like that, like an episode sans Nancy, as the Drew crew themselves solve a case on their own without her help. And, you know, because you start to care about the characters, and that's, of course, the lead character and the supporting characters, you know? And the supporting characters, of course, make the show. You know, you have the lead character, but it would be kind of boring if it was just Nancy. That's why you kind of have to have the supporting characters of George and Ace and Nick, because they add elements and depth to. They add depth too if it's Nancy Drew. They add depth to these shows, and you care about them. And you know, some people, their favorite might be Ryan, might be Nick, might be George, might be Ace, you know, might be Bess. As I said, I was feeling particularly good about Bess, at least in the first season. Bess was kind of the one that I liked the most, you know. So everyone in the cast, of course, plays an important role. It's not just the lead character. But, you know, everyone, of course, is just so talented and so damn good. You know, like, I think to myself, how does Candy McMahon pull it off, you know? Like, having a role like that, like, it's great. And then the same, of course, with Alex Saxon and Junji Kassam and Madison Jazani and Leah Lewis. It's like they all do such an excellent job in their roles, you know? So, episode 3, done. So, check mark. Got about 10 episodes left for this season. I decided this year or at least this time, I was going to go ahead and record the entire season and then go ahead and watch it instead of watching pretty much after each episode, which is basically what I'm doing with some other shows like Walker and whatnot. Basically, you know, the episode airs and then I go ahead and watch it. With this, I thought I'm just going to wait until the season is done. I was going to go ahead and start it, and then I found out that there were only 13 episodes as opposed to its previous 2 seasons of 18, which, come on, CW, what's that about? So I thought, you know what, I'll just wait. I'll just let all 13 episodes play out, get that done, and then I'll go ahead and watch it, because then I can kind of get it done a little faster than if it was week by week by week. You'll notice that I'm wearing the same sweater that I wore in the last episode, so obviously I'm getting more than one done this day, as opposed to like last time, or as opposed to if this aired on Friday and then I recorded it, and then it aired the next Friday and I recorded it, and having it be individual. So, you know, I was kind of like, I'm going to take a little bit of a different approach with this anyway. So hopefully I'll be able to knock the season out really fast. As I said earlier, as of this recording, they had not approved Nancy Drew for season 4, but I'm keeping fingers crossed that we will. I have a fairly good feeling that we will, but of course, you never know, you know? I had a fairly good feeling that Good Witch was going to get an 8th season, and it didn't, so, you know, don't know what's going on. So I'm hoping that both Nancy Drew and Walker will get renewed, because there's definitely more stories to tell. And especially with Nancy Drew, we need to find out more about Nace. So we need a season 4, if nothing else, for Nace. And plus, you know, it's nice to see the actors. But even if it doesn't get a 4th season, obviously the actors will move on to other projects and stuff. But, you know, it's just the cast works so well together that it's hard when you don't see them working together. Anyway, thank you for joining me for episode 3 of season 3 of Nancy Drew. If you enjoyed this, please hit the like button. Go ahead and leave a comment what your thoughts are on the season so far. How you think it's going to play out. Is Nace going to happen? I'd love to be able to hear from you. No one's leaving a comment, so I'd love to be able to hear from you. Please follow me on Instagram at Lizzie Cat Reactions. I post reacts and other graphics and stuff on there. A little bit of a fangirl on there, so sometimes you might see a few Insta stories of something that I really like. Special shout out to my editor, Captain Factory. She's the one that makes these videos look beautiful, and we'll probably figure out a way to keep the video of my cats in here, She'll probably do something with that. She might not, but yeah, she is the one who, of course, does a great job with these reacts, edits them perfectly, puts in the intro and outro. If you are looking for an editor for whatever project, link is in the description. So go ahead and check her out as well. Hit the notification bell to be notified of future content, including more Nancy Drew episodes and other reacts. Please follow me on Patreon and subscribe. I have 4 levels ranging from $3 to $25. Any donation would help me continue to do these reacts. But if not, that's fine too. I know money's tight for everyone. I am just glad that you are here and enjoying my reacts. I'd love to have you stick around. Please check out some of my other videos. If you're watching this on Rumble, you can head over to YouTube if you decide you want to see the edited version of this episode. And if you are on YouTube, you're probably seeing the edited version, so head over to Rumble to see the complete version as well. Thank you for joining me for episode 3. I'm going to go ahead and start episode 4 here soon. I'll see you in my next video.